Welcome everybody to the Little Mermaid parent meeting. Some of you are new, some of you are old. I try and kind of be brief in my old news. Feel free to talk to me if you ever have like a question or something. I usually sit outside when the parents are picking up kids, just making sure they're all going to the right car and all that kind of stuff, and make sure they're not like getting hit by a car in the parking lot. Um, for those of you who don't know, the Solana Beach Community Theater is my nonprofit company. I am just a board member there. Everything kind of filters through that. There are 7 members of our board. If you're interested about becoming a board member and like learning more about what we do, that'd be great. Right now, my board is made up of my sister, our costumer Natalie, our art teacher Scott, our sound technician Tony, um, Diana, who is our acting teacher and is currently directing Romeo and Juliet. Her daughter's also one of our choreographers. Um, Jenna, who doesn't have a kid in the program right now, but she also owns Cultural Brewery and is a big community mover and shaker. Used to work for US Bank. Hence, she's our treasurer, watches after our money. So she keeps me in line of what I'm spending and all that fine stuff. So that is our board, and we're all volunteers, and we all have the same philosophy. Put on good shows, spend our money wisely, don't be stupid, make good directional choices. I was really afraid about a week ago. I thought, oh no, I was working a karaoke birthday party for one of our kids in the program, and my lights flickered, and then I got the blue screen of death, and I thought, oh God, am I going to have to buy a new lighting board? This board is only 2.5 years old. But my young technician, Ethan, he solved my problem, and for now, we don't have to buy a new lighting board. So, whoo, I love hiring young people because they can kind of figure things out. So I'm a volunteer, so is all my board. My history of Solana Beach, for those of you who don't know, is my mom is the former mayor of Solana Beach, and she taught me civic service at a young age. Her name is Marion Dodson, and if you live in Solana Beach, we became a city in 1986, and my mom was on the first city council. And so I have deep roots here. I moved away and went to college and lived in Los Angeles for over 30 years. I was a prolific TV producer and film producer. I've worked on many, many films, know many, many people in Hollywood. In fact, a friend of mine runs the Blue Water Film Festival. He just asked me, he's like, hey, you got anybody to help out this like big blues singer? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm always working my Hollywood connections, but I'm no longer in Hollywood. I had a come to Jesus moment around my 40th birthday where I'm like, oh, I forgot to get married and have a life because I was working so much. Some of you might be able to relate. So I kind of gave up my illustrious career, and tried for a while to commute back and forth from Los Angeles after I met my husband. And he had a cute little 8-year-old daughter who is currently in my back in her room because she's here for spring break. She is a teacher now. She's 23, but she was in a cute production of The Wizard of Oz, and I loved that she was in theater, and I thought, oh, what a great way for us to bond. So whenever some of you are going through divorces or whatnot, and or your new wife is like, how can I get involved? This is what I did. I got involved in her theater company, and it was a way for us to do something together. And so we bonded. My husband had custody of his daughter at the time, and it was great. So I always kind of like love step parents because I know you guys are trying to kind of find your way sometimes, and it's hard. So but it doesn't mean I also like parents just in general who like want to do stuff for their kids. It is a large job to get your kids to all these different activities. Somehow I don't know how you all do it. So bravo. But that's my story. I gave up my career basically to like volunteer for my daughter's children's theater, and then they offered me a job. I'm like, I've never directed children's theater in my life, but I had produced multiple things on television. I could do this. So I kind of learned from them. It was a Boys and Girls Club up in Orange County, how to put together productions, and they were like award winning. I worked there for like 3 years. I overlapped. I taught in a high school level at the Academy of Performing Arts in Huntington Beach. And then my mom called one day and said, hey, we have a house one of her rentals in Solana Beach opened up. Would I consider moving down? My mom at the time was getting older in years. Wouldn't you want to raise your kids in Solana Beach? I thought perfect opportunity. My husband had been working at Qualcomm in San Diego. Perfect time to move. My daughter was in 8th grade. She went to Earl Warren, and we live in our house that we live in now. My parents were the original owner of my house from 1975. They purchased the house in 1975 for $49,000. Okay, so I'm sitting on a little gold mine. So I'm very appreciative to my parents for keeping this house and then selling it to me a few years back. So that's my background. Again, I'm very civic minded to Solana Beach. I think most of you might know that I'm also the president of the Historical Society of Solana Beach. And it comes to some people's, they go, what? How, JoJo? You're so young. Right, I am. I'm the youngest member of the Historical Society. But I want you all to become members, and you're going to learn about that in a few minutes. Our cost for shows, people always say, like, where does all of our money go? Why are you raising rents? Everybody went, after COVID, our industry was dead in the doornail, and they have to make their money back. So my prices have gone up exponentially over the last 5 years. The cost to just the rights to produce a show like Little Mermaid is well over $2,000. In fact, it's more like $3,000. I literally just ordered your kids' t-shirts on Friday. It's about $1,700. My rent in our little warehouse, and I know it's tiny, is $3,700 a month. Okay, pretty upfront on that. Insurance is over $6,000 a year. I have Wi-Fi, heating and air conditioning, etc., etc. So I got it all at the studio. So my costs mainly go to pay our rent. So when you pay fees, I have to now runway your fees through September. I do make money during summer for summer camp, but a lot of the times I hire college students to work for me in the summer. And so I have to runway rent from the show fees here, and just to kind of keep our operations going. It's a lot of money. I do seek grants, but no, I am not a grant writer, nor is anybody on my board. And everyone's like, hey, Jojo, go after this grant, go here, do this. These are all great ideas. I don't have time to go after every grant. So I really, really try and seek people to help me out with grant writing. A friend of mine just sent me a bunch of grants for Southern California, and he's like, they're due at the end of March. I can create the budgets and the back items to deliver those grants. I can't write the grants. I had a parent about a year ago write me 2 grants. They both got fulfilled. It was only for about $10,000, but it helps. Every little bit helps. And she wrote them using AI. I'm like, okay, well, I can't even figure that out. I don't have the time. So if that's something that you want to get into, you want to help us, and that's like your expertise and you've got an extra time, please let me know. I'm willing to talk to you. And again, a lot of times, a lot of people tell me about where grants are. I just can't, do we qualify? That's the thing. Which program can we qualify for? Sometimes it could just be operating costs, and that's not what they want to grant. They want to grant scholarships, which is great because I want to grant scholarships too. It's all of that's important. Our philosophy at our theater company versus any other theater company is a little bit different. We put the best shows we can on with the money we have. Your schools will tell you, we have no money. They don't, and they don't put on great shows. Or do they care to put on great shows? I see it all the time. I go to a lot of children's theater, and it drives me bonkers. Outside companies charge a lot of money to do school programs, and honestly, I don't take those jobs because I don't want their money. I want to do a better show, and that's why you pick our company, is that we put on the best show we possibly can. So that's why I don't spread myself too thin. I also don't advertise, which a lot of people go, oh, George, you're going to become so huge. I don't want to be huge, people. I'm not here for some like ego troping, like I'm the best person with the best children's theater. That's not my jam. My jam is truly, I care about your kids, our community, and let's put on good shows for them. So I don't advertise for that reason, and I don't spread myself too thin.
Who
For,
has eat in the kitchen?
sorry, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Especially when you're yelling at your kids. Anyway, other costs that we incur over the years is when equipment fails, which almost just happened, and I have to buy new things. Um, we also rent a lot of equipment, so I also tell parents like, hey, if your kids mess around and like throw water bottles all over the place and ruin something, I have to pay for it. So a lot of times it comes down with microphones. We had a kid ruin a microphone in the last show. This is not the first time it has happened, and I charge it back to the parents. So we have we hit it hard with the kids, like don't mess with equipment. We check it out to your kid. We check it in from your kid. So we know who does stuff. Um, we do keep our costs low. I'm not like a spend person, like let's buy. We truly try and keep everything close to the vest, which is why I tell you I do minimal advertising because I don't put it into advertising. Um, some of you might work for a company and you don't know what they offer. I currently have a couple parents that give to the through the Benevity portal. That is a group. Benevity uses large companies use them, and they do a matching program. So if you work for like Apple, Amazon, I think Qualcomm uses Benevity, and look into it because what they do is they match whatever you pay me. So you can pay your CAS fees through Benevity. So let's say you pay $450 through Benevity. You show me your receipt. Guess what? Apple then sends me $450. So I get 900 bucks and I'm like, woo, for one kid. So it's really a nice way for you to feel like you're also just giving through your company. So if your company does matching giving, let me know. We love that. Also, just about just matching corporate grants. Sometimes your company might go, hey, we want to. Last year, I had a parent reach out that they wanted to do a day of volunteering. So I wanted them to help out with our tea party. It didn't align up, but yes, I have not only my company, but other opportunities for charitable things that people can donate to. They can like work at our box office, greet people and hand them things. All those kinds of things are great. Lastly, our other giving opportunity is just donating a chair. This is an ongoing ask. We you can for $100 you can get a little plaque on the back of a chair that says, "For the kids of Solana Beach, reach for the stars, love grandma," or love the Smith family, whatever, and it stays permanent on our chairs. I used our chairs. We took them all to go to one of our shows when we did Descendants. We use them all the time, and I use them in our studio for all of our summer camp shows and stuff. So those chairs get used, and it's just an ongoing thing. And you can purchase those on our website. Our volunteer staff, my whole staff, most of them are volunteers. Natalie, who is our costumer, John is our set designer. Portia and Emmy Claire are our young choreographers. I actually pay them because they dance because I got no legs. Our programs are designed by Terry. Her son just was cast in our show. And then I have professionals. I believe to hire professionals is a smart thing because again, I'm trying to make your kids look good. So I hire a musical director. His name is Michael Deshevsky. He's on here tonight. Say hi, Michael. Give a shout out. And then,
Hello.
hello, we'll talk to you in a minute. And then I also have Tony, Ava, Ethan, and Anthony. And they're like our sound designer, lighting designers, and videographers. We videotape some shows, not every show can be videotaped. You have to pay a certain license for that. And in fact, the Adams Family, I just got it like a week ago and I haven't put it up because I don't have time because I had so many kids audition for this show. When your kid is, so I'm going to go through a couple of other little things. Like, so when your kid is sick, don't bring them to theater. Okay. I don't want to get sick and I don't want everybody else's kid to get sick. Just shoot me and be like, she can't come today. During tech week, people start to drop like flies a little bit. Just keep them healthy, let them rest. They're all nervous because they got a show coming up. And I'll get to that a little bit later, but
So I don't know what to do. Is that
if your kid is snotty and like
just to edit your
coughing the whole time, please keep them home. Don't make them come to theater. Snacks. Most of my old families know this. We offer snacks to the kids that you all bring, and we ask that everybody bring about 30 snacks at least once or twice during the run of the show. You don't have to all bring them week one, but I am kind of getting low on snacks for using the last show's leftover snacks until I tell y'all bring your snacks. The kids love snacks. We have a little snack bar. I just kind of drop them into the snack bar area. If your kid has a peanut allergy, I have one little bin that's my peanut free bin, and that's kind of for your fruit bars and things like that. So we don't want to mix the peanut snacks in with the fruit stuff. Our philosophy of lead roles and stuff, I talk to all your kids about this, about once you get a lead, will you never get a lead again? No. In fact, sometimes I need your kids that are very talented to kind of lead a cast. But at the same time, sometimes they're like, what? I just was a huge part, and why am I not getting another huge part? I'm like, I got to mix it up. What I believe in is that it's not about the talent, it's sometimes for their mental health too. They all need to feel like they were discovered and listened to. And I truly do care about your kids. And I think everybody can be helped and get to their best potential. The key is to study and show me that they want it and talk to me. I had a little girl tonight. She's like, Jojo, can I see my callback? I said, sure. We watched, we talked. I said, girl, you're young. You're going to take direction. I don't know you because I've never worked with you, but I do believe that she's got it. She's really talented, but she's like 8. She's got time. So does she want to peak at 8, or do we want to develop her? I have another young boy. He told me tonight he's been in 7 shows, and he's finally getting his first lead of Flounder, and he's through the moon excited. And if your kid needs extra help, I'm always there to like help them out. And on that note, I kind of want to introduce Michael. So Michael, take it away. We have a class that we have. He's fairly expensive. He lives in New York. He's a musical director for us, and he works with a ton of professionals in New York City. He's from San Diego. He comes into town all the time and has vocal recitals and whatnot. He teaches a class every other Thursday night. You can look on the website for the different schedule. There is a class tomorrow called Vocal Jam, and it's quite affordable, and I highly recommend it. But take it away, Michael.
Thank you, Jojo. Hey, everybody. It is great to be here. I've been working with Jojo since I think 2000, and Jojo, our first show together was 2021. It was Mamma Mia in Rancho Santa Fe. And
Right.
it's been, yeah, in the rain. It was during COVID. It's been great to work with this organization. I've been involved in youth theater with not only my high school, but the JCC, and theater has been a huge part of my life, and that's actually why I'm here in New York City. And I work as a music director for Holland America Cruise Lines and perform in the city. And working with the kids on all of our shows is one of the best jobs because I love helping them succeed and watching where they start with a role and where they get to. And so I will provide group classes for a lot of the leads and supporting roles, as well as the ensemble throughout the rehearsal process. But sometimes the one class a month or the 1 or 2 group sessions that we might do for Ariel or Ursula might not be enough training. So if they want to do a group class like Vocal Jam, which we'll have every other Thursday, they can bring their specific cut or solo in the song, or we can work on it's a kind of an open sing situation where they can bring in their opportunity to sing a particular solo of a JoJo show or sing their favorite karaoke song or anything like that. But I also will spend time working with different leads and supporting roles on their specific solos. But because there's so many students involved, it's difficult to try to get everybody the training that they need. So if they are interested in taking a one-on-one with me or a group class, Jojo has my information. I'll also put my information on the chat. And it is one of those things that where the consistent training pays dividends for the final result, because what happens sometimes, and I do fly in to watch these shows. I saw the Addams Family and it was absolutely incredible. But what'll happen sometimes is I'll get some lovely messages from parents during Tech Week saying, hey, can I get some one-on-one work? And I'm always happy to do that. But it is a process, and it's hard to just implement those notes when there's about a week to go. So that's something where it doesn't even have to be all the time, but every other week, or come to Vocal Jam. And I record every single session. All the group classes are recorded. All the supporting role rehearsals, the lead rehearsals. I record everything so that they have tools to continue to work on the music when I'm not there. But thank you so much, Jojo. And if you guys have any additional questions, talk to Jojo and let me know, and I will put my information on the chat. Thank you so much.
You. So yeah, Michael's great, and he definitely works with kids. I've seen wonderful things, and some kids, might not just have that vocal, their syncopations off or whatnot, and he has really, really, really tries to grow with it. Some of you go, no, no, she's studying with so and so. That's fine too. We totally get it. But what we're hearing is from a Broadway theater background is what we're looking at. Sometimes you put your kids in just like piano classes with the vocal element, and it might not be enough for them to kind of really get there in production. Okay, next, I know I've tried to get into 30 minutes, so I'm gonna try and keep jamming here. Next, I want to talk about volunteers and stuff like that. We have a LIT program, Leadership and Training program. This might be for your kid who's not yet found their way. They definitely know they don't want to be an actor, but they might want a stage crew, or they're an older brother or sister or something of this nature. Have them come and join their kids. It's so fun backstage. I actually order extra walkie talkies and stuff so we can all like kind of talk to each other and like help the kids out and support. It's not all the time, but sometimes we do a crafting element where we need to paint some stuff. And these are usually former kids, students of mine that might be in high school now. And in fact, this weekend on Friday, I have a birthday party that I booked, a karaoke birthday party. And I hired two of my girls and I give them gift cards. I pay them in gift cards, like go to the local ice cream shop down the street. It's called Solana Frosty. It's really good. And I suggest lots of people go to Solana Frosty after rehearsals. They're so great, and they're a wonderful local treat to visit. But you might have a kid who's in high school and not there yet. A lot of kids go, Jojo, can you pay me? Can you pay me? Can you pay me? Here's my rule. You got to drive. So you have to have a driver's license. I generally don't pay them until they turn 18. And over the summer, almost all of my instructors and directors are paid interns working for me, and I'm teaching them. I'm in my late 50s, or I'm in my mid 50s. I'm actually 54, so I'll be 55 in June. And I don't be doing this forever. I need to start training the next generation. So I pay the kids in the summer. I kind of plot it out. I have a wonderful girl who just graduated from Syracuse named Robbie, who will kind of be running my summer camps this summer. But I have another girl named Mila who's just finishing up her freshman year in college. And then I have Dottie, who's been helping me on Sundays. She also is just finishing up her freshman year in college. So this is a great thing. And note that I love volunteering. The other thing I want to tell you, I told you already that I was the president of the Historical Society. If you want to get involved more in not just volunteering for our studio, but get your kids involved in the community, the Historical Society always needs people to help out, like putting up chairs and helping out, because they're just a bunch of, there are lots of old people. Another group is my sister works for the CRC, which is the Community Resource Center. They help the homeless in Encinitas. And so sometimes you guys will donate clothes to me. Any clothing that I don't use of your children, I will donate to the CRC. So it's like if you give to me, I'm giving to the CRC. It's all in the family. But they have a wonderful spring tea every year. And they also do family baskets. So that, think like serving up the homeless at Thanksgiving. Family baskets is like you're putting all this wonderful food and clothing and treasures and things in baskets, and you're giving it to homeless in Encinitas. So CRC is a great organization. Another one is there's a free farmers market every Sunday in Solana Beach from 10 to noon. If your kid's in that 11 a.m. cast, you might want to say, hey, let's go at 10 o'clock and help the free farmers market. It's kind of started by one of our board members, our treasurer, Jenna, and my friend Lisa, who's on the Historical Society with me. And a lot of people go, how are there homeless people living in Solana Beach? I will tell you, there used to be in a giant apartment complex right on Stevens. They tore it down and they're going to put in condos. So these people were all displaced. It was over 300 families. They're now living in their neighbors' garages and things like that, all in and around where our studio is. Our studio is in a historical part of Solana Beach called Eden Gardens, and it's called La Colonia de Eden Gardens. And it was founded, this is a great story, by Hispanic Americans who literally built not only your homes probably, but helped put electricity and water into Solana Beach. They built the roads, they built the train tracks, all that stuff. And they settled in La Colonia, which is where our studio is. So I'm very big connection to that. And you'd be amazed at how many people come to the Free Farmers Market on Sunday. And it's great because I see some of my kids go and volunteer at that organization as well. And it's awesome. I can connect you. They're going to have a thing at Jenna's Bar, which is Culture Brewery, I believe on the 16th. I just read it in the paper. Okay, next. We talked about vocal jam. I'm going to talk about art classes. We have an art teacher, Mr. Stiles, he kind of teaches. Fridays and Wednesdays are his early dismissal days for students, and he's got a number of kids. He also does privates and semi-privates. I personally take his art class as an adult art classes every Friday morning from 10 to noon with my mom and my sister and some of our parents. It is so much fun and such my time. We are probably going to be doing like a mommy and me art class on Thursday night, so keep looking for that. Summer camp, I just listed all my summer camps. They are live on the website, so ask me questions. We love good kids. Please tell your kids to keep the studio clean. I am not their maid. They got to throw away their own trash. And I always ask them, like, I'm looking at you. So if you take out my trash and clean up your space, they will, I noticed that. And we give awards out to the kids who are the kindest at each show. Is Natalie on here? Natalie, are you around?
I am.
Okay, so she can talk to that and then talk about costumes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie Olvera. I've been helping JoJo with costumes for the last couple years. My daughter is Alexa Kaufman. She's one of the younger teenagers that's done a lot of shows with JoJo. I'm always giving her feedback backstage of kids' behavior. Some of you guys have amazing kids that have really great manners, super polite, super helpful, pick up after themselves, are just kind and hardworking. And so I always give her feedback. So when she's looking to recognize some of the kids, I know that I'm a source of her information. As far as costumes go, this is going to be a super fun show. We do have a good portion of pieces of things available. I'm going to start pulling out what we have and try to start getting organized now that we have our cast lists. When I do that, I will also create a wish list on Amazon for the things that we need. So hopefully in the next week or so, I can get together a cast list that I can send out with just the characters and kind of what you might buy for each character, like the basic pieces of their costume, or if there's any special things that we need. And you can pick those up on the wish list. I'll make sure that they're designated there by character in case you want to buy one for your child. If there's nothing specific to your child's character, please feel free to buy whatever looks fun on the list, or we really appreciate gift cards as well. That helps us buy exactly what we need when we need it. And then the other key things are it's really important in the next several weeks, we will send out some key dates for costuming. It's important for your kids to try to be there for fittings. And that is just basically where we make sure that we have enough of the right things for the number of kids in each cast. And we do that at a point where we would still have time to buy or make things that we're missing. So that will be important. The other thing are obviously the dress rehearsals are mandatory. Your kids do need to make sure they wear undergarments because we're changing all in a big room. There's no like private area to change. So like little dance shorts, tank tops, things like that are perfect. We have a big stash of theater shoes that we can lend out. I'll also put an example of those on the wish list in case you'd like to buy your own for your child. Um, and I just ask that you just remind your kids to be really careful with our costumes. There's JoJo 4 or 5 casts.
5.
5 casts, so things are going to be shared between 5 different kids, most of the costumes. So if we don't take care of them, they won't last through all of those shows, all of those dress rehearsals. So please just reinforce with your kids to be extra careful with our things and pick up after themselves when they're backstage.
Yes. Not all the costumes are purchased. We do rent some costumes. So again, I just paid the bill and we have a couple things that we needed to repair. So I just want to let you know these are extra costs that kind of come in, and we just want everybody to be respectful that we're a renter. And on that, our biggest cost for this show is our rental. We rent our Roger Row as our stage, and they're sticklers. So we want to be extra cautious there. We are not allowed to eat or drink inside the theater or the classroom. And so we kind of keep everything outside. It was very difficult during Adam's Family because it rained like 3/4 of the time. So we get it, we understand, but we have to understand that we're renters and we don't own. Hard for kids, parents, you kind of get it. Um, I'm going to talk briefly about our script delays. It is not my fault. I've been I pay and secure rights of this show. Our girl, who's my California rep, is on maternity leave and no one answers my call. I've been starting to CC Michael on stuff and he's like, dang, they really aren't talking to him. I'm like, yeah, now I'm at info at MTI shows. Give me my scripts, people. Here's all my paperwork. Who gonna give me my scripts? I paid for expedited shipping and they have not expedited squiddly squat. I've gotten no communication from them. And you can't call them. You call and it just rings and rings and rings and rings and doesn't go to voicemail. Driving me bonkers. So I'm trying. I'm calling other states at this point. I'm really, but I don't know what to tell you. So hold tight. I don't want to, it's easily findable on the website. I have a PDF of it myself. I can send you the PDF. Technically, it's illegal, just like it's illegal to Xerox a book at the library to print from home. But sometimes you get desperate and you want your kids to start practicing. Go for it. I had a parent go, hey, she found an off-market script somewhere, and I said, fine, buy it. I have ordered your kids' scripts, and I'm willing to pay for them. I'm not a magician and can make them magically. The next I'm going to talk about is Tech Week. Natalie kind of touched on it. Our tech, dress, and shows are all going to be from May 31st through June 9th. I shifted a little bit more forward. I have a schedule. I will shoot it out to you. Just know it's not set in stone. And if you have a conflict, please try and make it work. I worked with all of your travel plans, so please don't call me on May 15th and go, oh, JoJo, I got invited to my cousin's wedding. I got to go on June 1st. I'll be like, whoa, hold on. Why am I hearing this now? That's why I asked you on your audition forms, please tell me all conflicts during this time. So it's really, really important. So the other rule we have at our studio is that you can't drop because your kid doesn't like the role. Please stick with it. It's really not cool in my book if you drop just because your kid doesn't like a role. In fact, I don't give refunds. I will give a refund if I can't make all the tech dates work. So that's why I needed you all to put them on the forms. So without that, Natalie talked about Amazon. Please note, my studio is for rent if you have an event. Let's say you've got a board meeting or you need to do TED Talk or something and you need a studio, we got professional lighting. We also do karaoke birthday parties. We do art class parties. We do princess parties. We even do game nights. If these are things you're interested in, I'm going to have like a awards night towards the end of the month. It's going to be World Theater Day, and that's my big beg to kind of like donate for scholarships. And I think that's it. If you have more questions, I'll stay on here and we can kind of like, I can take your questions. I will turn off my recording. But thank you and welcome. And this is such a fun show. It's going to be beautiful and so fun. I'm excited, excited, excited. If you want to join our organization, like again, if you're a builder or a crafter. Oh, wait, hold on. Who's the mom who helps kids with their speech? Are you on here? Speak.
That's me. Hi
That's
there.
okay. Hey, introduce yourself and I will shoot out her information.
Yes. I'm Kim Lewick, and I have a private practice, pediatric speech language pathologist in Cardiff, Soundgarden Speech Therapy. So if, yeah, Jojo can share that info if any of you are looking for a speech language pathologist. Can help out with, articulation, which can be important in theater.
Yeah, it's really, if you notice your kid has a lisp, you might be just used to it or something like that. I kind of notice it. I'm like, I know a lot of times it's like tongue exercises and things like that, that sometimes your schools give them little lessons, but they don't have enough time and you might need more of a therapist. It's real noticeable. Yes, they do grow out of it, but it is them learning and training and getting those exercises to help them out. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waiting for you to come to my theater. I was
Oh,
talking.
here I am. I'm so glad to be here.
It's so awesome because we have a lot of kids that kind of fall into that category. So, what's your first name again?
Yeah, Kim.
Kim. Okay.
Last name is Lewick.
And the name of the company?
Soundgarden Speech Therapy.
Soundgarden. Okay, we all got it, guys. Okay, thanks, Kim.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all for tonight. I did it in, I don't know what time. Oh, 40 minutes. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to turn off my recording. And if you have questions, I will answer your questions.